The phone buzzed on the nightstand like a hornet trapped in glass, shattering the fragile silence of my 2 a.m. insomnia. I reached for it blindly, my fingers numb from the chill seeping through the cracked window of my shitty studio apartment, the one I'd rented after ditching the family mansion's gilded cage. The screen glowed harsh blue in the dark, illuminating the text from Dad. "Your trust fund is gone. Spent it on the new venture. You'll understand someday." My heart slammed against my ribs, a feral animal clawing to escape. Gone. The words blurred as rage ignited in my gut, hot and acidic, burning away the fog of exhaustion. He didn't know I'd been digging for months, piecing together the lies. He didn't know I was already broken, already plotting. But now the mask was off, and the beast inside me roared to life. I sat up, the thin sheets tangling around my legs like restraints I wanted to snap. The room smelled of stale coffee and unwashed laundry, a far cry from the polished mahogany and fresh-cut flowers of home. That word tasted like ash now. My trust fund wasn't just money. It was Grandma's legacy, the one she'd whispered about on her deathbed, her papery hand clutching mine. "For you, Ellie. For your dreams, not his schemes." She'd set it up ironclad, or so we thought, to mature on my 25th birthday, 6 months from now. But Dad, the great Alexander Hargrove, venture capitalist extraordinaire, had always seen it as his slush fund. I'd suspected for weeks, ever since I hacked into his emails, a skill picked up from late-night coding binges during college dropout days. Vague transfers, offshore accounts, whispers of a failing crypto startup. But this text. This was confirmation, slapped across my screen like a betrayal etched in pixels. Denial hit first, a pathetic whisper in my mind. Maybe it's a mistake. Autocorrect. Wrong recipient. But no, it was addressed to me, his Ellie Bear contact name mocking me from the top. I scrolled back through our sparse message history. Birthday wishes, curt check-ins. Nothing real since Mom left 5 years ago, taking her quiet dignity and leaving us in the ruins of his ambition. Heartbreak clawed at the edges of my anger, a dull ache remembering the man who'd once pushed me on swings, laughing in the summer sun. No. He was a shadow, consumed by boardrooms and bad investments, treating family like expendable assets. I paced the creaky floorboards, the wood cold under my bare feet, each step echoing my rising pulse. Humiliation burned my cheeks. How many times had he promised it was safe? Investing wisely, kiddo. For the future. Lies all of it. Resentment festered, old wounds reopening. The way he'd dismissed my art degree as a hobby, funneled money into his deals while I scraped by on barista wages. Obsession took root then, in that dim room lit only by the phone's glow. I imagined confronting him, his smug face crumpling, but no, that was too easy. He needed to feel the loss, the emptiness he'd inflicted. Guilt flickered briefly. He's your father. Blood. But it died under the weight of cold resolve. No more. By dawn, the city outside my window stirred. Distant horns blaring, the metallic screech of garbage trucks, the acrid scent of exhaust wafting in. I brewed coffee, black and bitter, mirroring my mood. My laptop hummed to life on the rickety kitchen table, surrounded by sketches of half-finished paintings. My escape, my rebellion. I dove deeper into the digital trail I'd started months ago. Bank statements pulled from a shady forums tutorial, emails forwarded to a burner account. There it was, transfers to Hargrove Ventures, siphoning Grandma's millions into a black hole of failed NFTs and blockchain hype. He'd gambled it all, not knowing I'd learned to code just to uncover secrets like this. Not knowing I had copies, timestamps, proof. The day blurred into a haze of suppressed rage. At work, the coffee shop's steam-filled air clung to my skin, the espresso machine hissing like my unspoken fury. Customers blurred. Smiling faces ordering lattes while I forced a grin, my mind replaying the text. Your trust fund is gone. Gone like my security, my independence. Heartbreak surged during a slow moment, leaning against the counter, remembering holidays where he'd toast to family first. His eyes already distant, calculating. Was it always a facade? Doubt crept in. Maybe he thought he could replace it. Maybe it's not malice. But no, the email showed otherwise. Cocky messages to investors. Tapping personal reserves. High risk, high reward. That evening, I called my sister Lena, the golden child who'd followed Dad into finance. The phone rang twice before her crisp voice answered. Background noise of a bustling office fading as she stepped away. Ellie, everything okay? You sound off. I swallowed the lump in my throat, forcing casualness. Yeah, just checking in. How's Dad? Any big news on the venture front? Pause too long. He's stressed as usual. Why? Subtle hints. Her evasion fueled my suspicion. Did she know? Was she complicit? No reason. Miss you guys. We chatted superficially, her words polished, revealing nothing. But tension hummed beneath, like a wire about to snap. Hanging up, obsession deepened. I sketched furiously, a dark portrait of Dad. His features twisted in shadow, eyes hollow. Moral conflict gnawed. Revenge meant crossing lines, becoming like him. But the betrayal demanded justice. Days bled into nights, suspense building in quiet increments. I tailed him once from afar, watching him exit his sleek downtown office, Armani suit impeccable, shaking hands with suited sharks. The city's pulse, neon signs flickering, rain-slick streets reflecting taillights, mirrored my inner storm. He didn't notice me in the crowd, hood up, heart pounding. Fear mixed with thrill. What if he saw? But he didn't, climbing into his Tesla, oblivious. Inner thoughts warred. Confront him directly. No, too messy. Fantasies bloomed, exposing him publicly, watching his empire crumble. But doubt lingered. What if it destroys Lena too? Guilt over potential collateral damage twisted my gut, but resentment won. I started planning, subtle at first. Anonymous tips to regulators, forged from library computers to avoid traces. Each keystroke felt like a step toward the abyss, cold resolve hardening. A week later, another text from Dad. Hey kiddo, dinner soon? Miss my girl. Suppressed rage boiled. How dare he pretend normalcy? I replied cheerfully. Sure, Dad. Can't wait. But inside the plot thickened. He didn't know I knew the full extent. Didn't know I'd found the hidden accounts. The slow burn ignited. The restaurant hummed with subdued elegance. Crystal chandeliers casting warm glows on white tablecloths, the clink of silverware punctuating murmured conversations. I arrived early, choosing a corner table with a view of the door. My black dress a armor of sorts, sleek and unassuming. The air carried scents of garlic butter and aged wine, but my stomach churned with anticipation. Dad strode in 10 minutes late. His silver hair perfectly coiffed, exuding that effortless charisma that masked his rot. He didn't know this dinner was my trap, laced with questions designed to unravel him. Ellie Bear. He enveloped me in a hug, his cologne sharp and expensive, a reminder of the life he'd stolen. I stiffened subtly, but he didn't notice, pulling back with a grin. You look great. Starving. We ordered. Steak for him, salad for me, my appetite non-existent. Dialogue flowed naturally at first. His booming laugh drawing glances. So, how's the art thing? Sold any masterpieces lately? I smiled, layered with hidden barbs. Struggling but holding on. Grandma always said persistence pays off. A subtle jab, watching his eyes for flicker. There, a microsecond of unease, quickly buried under bluster. Yeah, she was a wise one. Miss her. He sipped his scotch, ice clinking. Tension built slowly, my questions probing. How's the new venture? Risky markets these days. He waved it off. Ups and downs, but we'll come out on top. Always do. Lies I knew from the emails. Investors pulling out, debts mounting. Inner conflict raged. Call him out now? But no, slow burn. I let silence stretch, my fork tracing patterns in dressing. As dessert arrived, rich chocolate mousse he devoured while I picked at mine, the conversation turned personal. Ellie, about your future. Maybe time to think practical. Join the firm. Lena's thriving. Humiliation flared. Another dismissal of my dreams. Practical, like managing trusts. I said softly, eyes locking on his. He froze, spoon midway. What do you mean? The moment hung, suspense coiling like a spring. I know, Dad. The fund. Gone. His face paled, the restaurant's hum fading to a distant roar in my ears. How? Ellie, it's not what you think. Temporary. I'll replace it. Heartbreak pierced the anger. His voice cracked, genuine regret. But resentment overrode. Temporary. You gambled Grandma's money on your ego trip. I have proof. He leaned in, voice low, urgent. Please don't do anything rash. Family sticks together. Obsession peaked. This was it, the pivot to revenge. But guilt whispered, he's scared. Human. I excused myself to the bathroom, splashing cold water on my face, mirror reflecting a woman fractured. Eyes wild, resolve stealing. Moral grayness loomed. Exposing him could ruin us all. Back at the table, he pleaded subtly, manipulation dripping. We can fix this. I'll cut you in on the next deal. I nodded, feigning agreement, but inside the plan crystallized. Over the next weeks, suspense mounted in shadows. I leaked documents anonymously to a financial watchdog, timed releases building pressure. News snippets appeared, whispers of investigations into Hargrove Ventures. Dad called frantic. Ellie, something's wrong. Regulators sniffing around. Innocence feigned. That's awful. Need help. His paranoia grew, our talks revealing cracks. Sleepless nights, Lena's worry. Layered motives emerged. He'd done it for us, he claimed, to build an empire. But emails showed greed, affairs, hidden vices. My revenge felt justified, yet doubt nagged. Am I becoming the monster? Climax brewed during a stormy night, rain lashing my window like accusations. He showed up unannounced, drenched, eyes hollow. It's you, isn't it? The leaks. Confrontation electric. You betrayed me first. Tears mixed with rain on his face. I was desperate. After Mom left, the debts. I thought I could win it back. Shocking twist. Mom's departure wasn't abandonment. He'd driven her away with addictions, secrets. Heartbreak deepened, guilt surging. But cold resolve held. Too late. The payoff. I didn't destroy him utterly. Instead, a deal, restitution through liquidation, my fund partially restored. But the twist. Lena, complicit all along, turned on him for her own gain, exposing more. Poetic justice. He lost the empire, isolated, while I walked away with scars and scraps of inheritance. Unexpected consequence. Freedom tainted by the moral cost. Revenge's bitter aftertaste lingered. A hollow victory in the quiet aftermath.